Today we're going to be working on mapping out facial proportions. So you are going to map along with me how the face should be laid out so that you will be prepared to input all the facial features that we have been working on the past week. So what you're going to do is we're going to start with the shape of the face, and I know a lot of us had some questions about this. I would start with a circle. We do have compasses if you need a compass, but I would sketch out a circle. And this is actually the forehead to about the nose area. So this is not your whole head. Your head is not a circular shape. From that circle shape, you can bring the face down, adding a little bit of a U shape, a big U attached to that circle. This is going to give you more of a face shape. It ends up being almost like an upside down kind of egg shape. It won't stay that way. You will define it a little more as you go, but it's a general shape to get us started. And from there, what I want you to do is I want you to start mapping the face so you know where things are going to go. So one of the things we need to do is split the face in half. So you should be drawing along with me, drawing this map so that you have this reference to look at in your notebook. Try to split the face in half, and it doesn't have to be a perfectly straight line, but just sketch a line through where you think the middle of the face might be. Then we want to measure and see if you've gotten it where it should be. So to measure without a ruler, you're going to use your pencil, and you're going to place it at the edge of the head here, and I'm going to use, so this is the one end, and then I'm going to use my finger to mark where the other end is, and then I'm just going to move my pencil over to the other side, and I'm going to see if that's about the same. It's a little off. I need to come out just a little bit to about here. So I'm just going to widen my circle, or my egg shape, up just a little bit so that my line is in the middle. And I'm going to erase that and fix that there. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another line horizontally, which is wide ways across the paper. I'm going to draw another line halfway across. So this circular line I could actually get rid of for now. But I want a straight line to go across the paper. So I'm going to kind of guesstimate where I think the middle might be and sketch it across. Okay. And then I'm going to measure again. So I'm taking my eraser, moving my hand up, putting my thumb where that end of the line is, moving it down. I'm a little off on this one, quite a bit off actually. So instead of adding to the bottom of the face, I think this time I'm just going to move my line up a little bit. And please remember that you should be filling the page, most of the page, with the face or with the person. So don't draw a little tiny head in the middle of the page. So I'm just going to map that out again, measure with my pencil, and pretty much got it that time. So a line halfway vertically, up and down, a line halfway across horizontally. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another line to show where the bottom of my nose is going to go. So halfway between the eye line and the chin, so this is my eye line, that's where my eyes are going to go. This is my chin. So halfway between that, I'm going to draw where I want the bottom of my nose to go. So I'm going to guess there. I'm just going to draw that little line and see if my measurement's correct, and then I'll go ahead and finish it. So putting my thumb with my eraser. Yep, that's correct. And since I know that's just going to be for my nose, I think I'm just going to leave that small little line instead of an entire line across. Now what I need to do is I need to put a line a third of the way down from the nose line, and that's where the mouth will go. So from my nose line, I should split this section into thirds, so that means 3 sections. So I'm going to put it about here, I think. That's where my mouth is going to go. And I'll measure. So from that, I'm going to put my finger, and it should fit in there 3 equal times. This measurement should be able to fit 2 more times below it. If you want to label things, you can. So this is where your eyes are going to go. This is where the bottom of the nose is going to go. This is where your middle of your mouth is going to go. Now let's talk about how wide your eyes are going to need to be. So to make sure the eyes are the correct size on the head, you should actually be able to fit 5 eyes across your head. So I want to come in here and I want to kind of guess about equal distances from the center line. And then I'm going to look at this section and I'm going to see if I can fit it in 5 times. So I'm going to go to my eraser, go with my finger, move it along. I can fit it in 1 more time. Let's stop there. And 2 more times on this side. 1 more time. And a little less than 2 more times. So I might shrink it just a little bit. Move those lines in a little bit towards each other because you should be able to fit 5 eyes across. So I'm going to measure again, taking my eraser, putting my finger where my other tick mark is, move it along. So I know it's going to stop about here. Move it along. Yep, that'll fit the correct number on that side. So I should be able to fit 1 there and 2 there. That looks about right. So then I just want to go ahead and make my tick marks. Now that I know I can fit 5 eyes across here, I want to make my little marks to show where the eyes should go. So again, I'm putting my eraser here, measuring with my finger, moving it over. That first spot is where I want to put my second little mark. And then I want to do the same thing again. Measuring, pull it over here, end of the eraser here. I want to put my other little mark. In between these sets of tick marks, that's where the eyes are going to go. So I'm just going to sketch it in here so you can kind of see where the eye is supposed to go. All right, so you can see that I'd be able to fit another eye here and another eye here and another eye here for an equal distance of 5 eyes across. So you're breaking that into fifths. The next thing you need to know as far as measurements is how wide your nose is going to be. So your nose should be this distance apart at the bottom. So the distance between your eyes, moving down to where the bottom of the nose is, I'm just going to bring those little tick marks down so that I know that's the width of my nose. And for fun, I'm going to go ahead and put our circle method in there. So center of the nose, and then those smaller circles should reach out to those, just to those tick marks. Don't go beyond that or your nose will get too wide. And again, this is a general rule of thumb. Some people's faces do not fit in these guidelines. We're all a little different. Some people will have a wider nose. Some people will have a shorter nose. Some people's eyes will be larger. But this is going to help you to get the best proportion you possibly can. So there's the width of my nose. My eyes are placed the size they need to be. The next thing I need to know is how wide my mouth needs to be. So within your eyes, since you have those there already, think about where your pupils would be. I'm going to just put a little pupil in there for fun so you can see. From there, those two pupils, I'm going to bring my pencil down. This is my middle of my mouth line, so that's where that curve will be of the middle of the mouth. I'm going to bring from my pupil to make a tick mark. That's going to be where that corner of my mouth is on that side. And from this side down, corner of my mouth is going to go on that side. So we did that circle method for our lips as well, so I'm going to put that in here. So this would be where the top of my lips would go. And they would extend over to that tick mark. Same thing on this side, it would extend over to my tick mark. And of course this would be the middle, which I already measured out with that tick mark earlier. I'm just drawing the lips in for fun. You don't have to do that part unless you just want to sketch it in to understand what it's showing. And then your bottom lip would come right under that, which we would put our two circles in for that one as well. So that's how wide your mouth should be, from pupil to pupil of the eye. Your ears, if your ears are going to show, most of you, if you're drawing men or boys, will show. And your measurement of your ears actually goes from the bottom of your nose. So you can come to where the bottom of your nose is and make a little tick mark over here to your eyes. So the top of your ears should become to your eyes. Okay, so this is where my ear is going to go. And then the hairline, you need to place the hairline as well, because the hairline is also part of this. So the hairline is actually going to come down about I don't know if it would be halfway. Probably. So between the middle where the eyes are and the top of the head, you're probably coming down a third of the way down. So this should be 3 equal sections. So I would say it's about here. This is where your hairline would be, a third of the way down to your eye line. And the hairline is just literally where your hair meets your face. So you got to leave room for your forehead. I'm just drawing a generic hairline here. So that kind of gives you a guideline of all the measurements. So if you want to write down your facts here, your eyes, 5 across. Your nose is the width of one eye. Your mouth is the width from pupil to pupil. And your hairline is a third of the way between eye line and crown of the head. You don't have to write these notes down if you don't want to. I just was writing it to make sure you knew where everything goes. And then the only thing we're really missing here is where your eyebrows should go, and your eyebrows are going to be above the eye. You want to give a little space above the eye. And they're going to be the same length as your eye, or a little bit longer, but you want to start them at where your tear duct is here, and then bring them over just a tiny bit beyond your eye. And remember, when you draw those in, you want to keep it real light because we're going to go in and put actual individual hairs for them. Once you're done mapping this out, I would like you to take a look at either ears or hair to practice those features. And tomorrow we'll practice with graphite and blending stumps in order to get going on our portraits. So tomorrow we will start our portraits after we practice our blending with our new materials.